Welcome back to Mac Talks of Football and what has happened to Manchester City. 12 games, 1 win and 9 defeats. So let's go ahead and decipher what has happened, what has gone wrong for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. If I'm being very honest, like there are, in my opinion, there are so many reasons. Like you could easily, for example, if you want to banter Manchester City, you can just say that you're a one-player team and Rodri went out and your team couldn't do anything. That is that is the simplest solution. You could possibly go out and make, if you want to piss off Man City fans, you can just say that to them. But if you're looking really deeper and if you look at it, I think it is a result of injuries. You cannot take that away from them. Rodri missing is a huge thing, and it is just not a Rodri, if I'm being very honest with you. If you look at other players around them, their defense has not been really solid. There has been inconsistencies there, and you have players like John Stones and Kyle Walker. Like they are firstly they are aging, and then again they are not they are not played quite consistently. John Stones has been injured as well. He has missed a couple of games as well, more than couple of games, sorry. Kyle Walker same as well. And the fact of the matter is they are an aging squad. That is the main criteria that you have to look at it. Majority of that is majority of their players are in like their 29, 30, they are touching 30s, and I think that is a big factor of why Manchester City are really struggling this season. And I get that they started the season really good and not, but if you really look, and if you look at their games, that I said this before their bad run started. I think the first time I started saying this was like in the Southampton game against, or the Wolves game, where they barely won the game, or where they draw the game. I think those two games were the first time when I started to say that City are not playing like the City of last year. They are really struggling this season. Until that time, Rodri was not even out of the team, right? And then the Rodri incident happens. He's out of the team. He's for the season and all that. And then City start to drop off. And it is not, it's the culmination of majority of the things. And the biggest thing for me is Erling Haaland not performing. And if you look at the Southampton game and the Wolves game, it was Erling Haaland who somehow manages to score a goal that equalizes, that gets them a single point in those games. And one of those games, Haaland scores the goal and they win the game. But since then, Haaland has not scored. If you look at Manchester City's goal scoring record, Haaland has scored like about 11 or 12 goals. But after that, the second highest goal scorer for Manchester City is Guardiola, and he has scored 4 goals. Like that just shows you why they are struggling. You can blame it on all the injuries. You can blame it on Rodri being not there, and you have an aging squad, and that is all of those are important factors. I mean, their midfield is Gundogan, he's 30 plus. There is Kovacic, he's 30 plus. All of that, they don't really have a solid midfield. But the main problem is like your supposedly superstar players are not delivering. De Bruyne was injured for most of the time. He has just come back, and so you can let's say you take off you give away De Bruyne, you give him a pass. But apart from that, you have Jack Grealish. Phil Foden has been a disaster. Like that, he was a star player last season. He somehow won the PFA Player of the Year award, which I don't agree with. But he was PFA Player of the Year, right? And this season, he has not even scored a single goal. Forget about scoring a goal. He has not even provided an assist. That's how bad he has been. Jack Grealish has been all over the place. It's been more than a year since Grealish scored for them. Doku, he has not really performed there. He has not hit the highs that he would have thought. Silvinho, I mean, why he was signed, I have no idea. He has not done anything. And Haaland himself, and I don't want to say it like I don't want to sound bitter or whatnot, but like since he has uttered those famous words to Mikel Arteta, as an Arsenal fan, I find a little bit of glee in that. Then when they just stay humble, like he has been humbled perfectly. Like since he has said that, his performances have been gone down, have been not been visible. He scored I think 1 or 2 goals since that, and the entirety of City's team has suffered a massive downfall. But the main problem for Manchester City, and I don't know why it is happening, that nobody's scoring the goals. You cannot win a game of football if you're not going to score the goals. Their attacking threat is nowhere to be seen. None of the players in the front are performing, and it seems like, let's be honest here, that Guardiola has run out of ideas. Like he gets he's been beaten by almost every coach in the city, in the country, in Europe. Like, they are unable to win the games. I mean, if you are winning 3-0 against Feyenoord and you end up the game 3-3, that not only the players are going to be questioned, the manager is going to be a question about it. How can you let that lead slip? The same happened against Manchester United. That game was such a terrible game, but you are winning 1-0 up until the 87th 88th minute, and you end up losing that game 2-1. So of course the questions are going to be asked. I think this City team have reached their limit, and the question is now how they are going to respond to it. I saw yesterday, on a Sky, when they were asking about the top four finishes, and both Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, and I forgot the host, all of them put City finishing in top four. I really don't see Manchester City finishing in top four. If I'm being very honest with you, the way that they are playing, and the pressure that they are in, they just seem, and this is so bizarre that Manchester City are crumbling under the pressure. You would have not, you would, if anybody have told you that, you would have laughed at their face before the start of the season. Even midway through the season, like till September, October, everything was fine for them. Nobody would have believed that they were going to play like this, and they were going to perform like this, and it was going to be like this. So I don't understand this logic that they're somehow going to, finish in top four. I really don't think that's going to happen. I think Manchester City are not going to qualify for Champions League through the Premier League. If they win the Champions League, that is a different thing, which is not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But it is just this thing that is set in our mind that Manchester City are so great, they are going to come back and they're going to go in amazing winning streak, and they are somehow going to forget top four. They are going to win the title as well. But I don't think it's going to happen this year, because it has not been so bad. Like this in any of the past years. They have they have lost a couple of games, they have had a couple of draws, and like that, but they were still in the touching distance of the leaders. And they, the fact of the matter is that the fear of Manchester City is over this season. That is the main thing, right? Every club that is, before the start of the season, when you look, you are going away to City, that was a tough game. Majority of the games, majority of the teams would have already accepted the defeat before the game would, the game started, before kickoff. But now when they look at City, they think that maybe we have a chance. Like, there is a chance. It might not be easy, but there's still a chance that we can go ahead. And you would see, like, they can name names that they got the result against them. They got the result against them. And I think it is having an effect on the entirety of that. I said that last season as well. Before the season started, that our teams need to go ahead and think of Manchester City as an equal. The similarity I'm going to say is the PSG in France. If you look at PSG's games this season, the teams that have played with PSG, you've taken the game to PSG, who have not shown them enough respect, who have taken thought of them as an equal, have had a better chance of winning again. Who have they are the teams who have won against City, against PSG, sorry, and are the teams who have made sure that PSG drop the points. And the same thing used to happen here in England with Manchester City, that a lot of the teams, they showed them too much respect, or they were so scared that they really did not used to do anything against City. But now it is changing. Teams are going at them, whether it is in a home game or it is in an away game. They go away to Etihad. The system that they had, like the thinking of the teams has completely changed. The invincibility factor of Manchester City at the Etihad, or all of that is gone, and now the teams think that we can go ahead and defeat them. And if they don't solve this problem of not scoring the goals, I don't think it is gonna come back, because I just don't see how they are gonna come back in the title picture. For me, that is done. Like, let's be honest, and I don't think they are gonna finish in the top four as well. Guardiola needs to do something, and I think this is where the Guardiola is gonna come in. Will he stay? He has extended his contract, but will he stay? And if he stays, how he is gonna rebuild? I think that is gonna be his legacy. That how he leaves Manchester City. That is going to be the big task for Pep Guardiola. As of now, it is a disaster everywhere you look at it. I mean, injuries are there. Your players are not scoring everything you are trying to. And I personally think there is a big factor of those, the charges. I think there behind the scenes stuff is happening. Maybe the players know, maybe the manager knows, maybe the club knows as well, that maybe we are not gonna get a good verdict out of those charges, and I think that has affected a lot of people behind the scenes, that I think that is having an effect on the field as well, because I personally thought that Guardiola was not going to extend, but I think because of what has happened, he has been in a way forced to extend, if I'm being very honest with you, and I think that has sort of also resulted in him, because you have never seen Pep Guardiola like that, like even in his darkest days in a Bundesliga, you have not seen Manchester Pep Guardiola react like this. Like, the man is biting himself off and whatnot he's doing. So it is a very very rare situation to be in. And let's be honest, I was about to say that you feel bad for Manchester City, but you don't. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, pretend that I feel bad. I don't. We have suffered. I saw my team went on a 17 game winning streak. I saw my team lost one game last season in the run up to the title, and that one game cost us the title. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm feeling sympathy for Manchester City players, fans, or the managers. No, I'm not. But I am shocked. I just cannot understand why it has happened. It is unbelievable that the downfall has started, because nobody predicted that. Or we just hope for it. It is happening right now. But it was inevitable, because the recruitment in the summer was terrible. Let's be very honest with you. They brought in a Gundogan, they brought in Sibinho. Apart from that, nothing was done to refresh the squad. You need that. You look at the previous managers, and he used to do that every summer. He used to bring in players. This season, Alvarez left. That was a big factor. Julian Alvarez leaving, they brought in Sibinho. That it was, and he has not brought out. As I said, they are not scoring the goals. There are injuries. There are problems everywhere. And if it continues, it will be a very bad season for Manchester City. That's it from me in this video. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think is the biggest problem for Manchester City of Manchester, and why are they suffering? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 400 subscribers before the end of this year. Almost 40 subscribers just remaining, and there's still about 7-8 days. So please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.